Hello and welcome to Puente Hills Mall, also known as Twin Pines Mall, but it could also be known as Lone Pine Mall. Which one is it? I don't know, but I do know this. This is the mall where they filmed part of Back to the Future, right here in this parking lot. And I did not expect this many cars to be parked here at Puente Hills Mall after hearing how much of a ghost town it is. And I will also say this, that Southern California has been going through a bit of a heat wave right now, and it's 104 at this very minute, and I'm thirsty and sweaty. Whew, found some shade, but I want to just go over what I'm gonna talk about in this video. And one, we're gonna obviously talk about the filming locations. We're also gonna go inside the mall, talk a little bit about the history of this mall, and also we're gonna talk about the uncertainty, the uncertain future of this mall. Pun intended. Let's go. Now the reason to say that the future is uncertain here is because just recently a big real estate merchant just purchased all 56 acres of this mall for $115 million. Now, if only old man Peabody knew that this place was gonna sell for $115 million, I think he probably would have held on to it. That's just me. That was only about a year ago when people were talking about this mall, and the talk of the town was that the original owners were going to spruce this place up in hopes to drum up some interest in new stores. And now there were going to be some remodeling going on, and there was worry that this place was going to be remodeled so much that it would not look anything like it did when Back to the Future was filmed. Now the uncertainty is the new owners have not said anything about what they're gonna do with this mall. So it's very uncertain. The future is uncertain. Now, if we only had a DeLorean time machine, we could go back or we can go forward in future and find out, but we don't. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this place being torn down and turned into apartments. However, I would probably push back on that just a little bit because of the place that it is seems to be zoned for business. If you're gonna tear this down and make condos and houses or a neighborhood of whatnot, you would have to zone the property for that. Now my guess is they probably are going to tear this place down. Wouldn't it be great if the new owners knew how important this was to a bunch of nerds like me and made this into some kind of Back to the Future type thing, you know, like, I don't know, not an amusement park, but definitely a sort of homage to Back to the Future. Fingers crossed. So let's go inside the Back to the Future Mall. Well, it's actually the Puente Hills Mall because they didn't actually film any part of the movie inside. So Puente Hills Mall, let's go check it out. So before we go into the mall, this is actually a sushi place that used to be hustling and bustling. And I'm assuming that this is a snapshot of what most of the mall is gonna look like.
In 1974, the Puente Hills Mall opened its doors. At the time of the grand opening, they had 50 shops inside. By 1975, the number of shops have tripled in size. This is when Sears and JCPenney came into the picture. In order for the Puente Hills Mall to gain recognition, it would hold fairs like the Renaissance Fair, among other major activities. They would have Playboy playmates dressed as Lady Godiva riding through the mall on her white horse. The mall would also have young couples married in the central court. They would provide the wardrobe, the hairdo, the jewelry, the honeymoon, and a brand new car. Just for the newlyweds. The mall would continue to flourish until that dreaded internet shopping came along. The end.
Now before we go over and see the Twin Pines Mall sign that they have, it's a replica of the real sign. Right here, every shop right in this area is completely closed. I wouldn't say this is a packed mall by any means, but I'm kind of surprised on how many people are actually here. Now right here is the Twin Pines Mall sign. Now this is a replica of the real sign, but this sign also, I noticed, says 116, and I think in the movie it actually says 115. So they're off by 1 minute, but this is really cool. Now looking at this sign right now, I'm just thinking, what's gonna happen to it? Where is it gonna go? Is it gonna go to a museum? I don't know, but it's kind of interesting. Like, are they gonna have an auction on this now? That would be interesting. Now I was promised a flying car by 2015. Where's my flying car, Doc Brown? Where's my flying car? Now there's definitely a ton of closed stores here. However, there are a lot of people walking around. And I have seen in the past of other places that have closed, a lot of people use these empty malls as a place to exercise, a place to just kind of walk around and get some exercise. Now, not all the stores are closed. They have places like Ross, Dress for Less, and quite a few other just kind of smaller shops peppered out throughout this mall that are still open. They also have a bowling alley / arcade right here. It's kind of cool. Now, of course, I'm here on a Saturday afternoon, and quite possibly could be the reason why there's more people here than usual. Because I don't think you would see this amount of people here on a Monday morning. Wow, now most of the food court is pretty empty, and a lot of closed restaurants. So I'm definitely not saying that a couple thousand people coming into the mall is going to save it. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen after the new buyers. But I would say if they wanted to try to save it, they could possibly bring in new brick and mortar stores, update the stores. Well, I could say at this moment anyway, definitely not hustling and bustling, but definitely not a ghost town. Surprisingly, not a ghost town. It was right here where Marty McFly, played by Michael J. Fox, would skateboard down all the way down to the Twin Pines Mall sign. So Marty McFly would skateboard up to this point, and right over there would be the van. The van that would soon reveal the DeLorean time machine. It would be right around here where McFly would walk around the sign and walk down to the van. I love my camera, but it overheats in anything over 85 degrees. It was right about here by this lamppost where Doc Brown's van was parked. So it was right here, roughly in between the first and the second parking lot here by this pole where Doc Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd, would park the van. It was right here where Marty McFly would walk down the side of the hill and skateboard over and see Einstein, Doc Brown's dog. Looking this way is where the van was parked, and the automatic gate of the van would open up and reveal the time machine. This is where Einstein and McFly would look onward with perplexed faces. We would oftentimes see this building in the background as we look over the shoulder of Doc Brown. At the time, it was a J.C. Penney. You can also see this building in the background as Doc Brown begins to demonstrate the time machine and Marty McFly is holding the camcorder. Now it's right about in here where the photo booth was. Now it was right over here when Einstein was inside the DeLorean just before Doc Brown would start demonstrating what the time machine can do. Now right behind me here is where the chase would happen. This is where the Libyans would chase Marty in the time machine, right back here. Now I'm gonna mimic it the best I can do. There's a lot of cars here still, but let's give it a try. Oh my God, me and my camera are happy to be in an air-conditioned car. So if you hear the fans in the background while I'm talking, that's what you're hearing. It's 109 right now, guys. I started at 104. It is now 109 degrees. All right, so let's get going down the path, kind of the path that Marty McFly drove. And like I said, there's a lot of cars in the parking lot, so I may not be able to do it perfect, but we're gonna try our best.
Right here is part of the road where the Libyans would chase Marty down.
Now I believe he would come all the way up to the stop sign and make a right here. Now he would make another immediate right into the parking lot. It was right here where the
Photo booth was.
that Marty McFly would go into the past and the Libyans would crash right into it. Well, goodbye to the Puente Hills Mall. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? So it's a maybe goodbye. Maybe not. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I lean up against this pole right by where Doc Brown would park his van, I'm gonna ask you, if you like this video, you're also gonna like my Bela Lugosi video, also with Dwight Fry, two people that were from the movie Dracula. Go check that one out. 1931 Dracula. And if you want to check out another video, check this video out right over here. And guys, I'll see you over in either one of those. Take care.